Click on Show More to read along. When a wild animal in the wilderness calls out a warning, the others don't question their motive as their instincts are still intact. When a human tries to warn his kind, they laugh and call him a conspiracy theorist because their instincts have been rendered useless. Science is basically interested in time, force, cause and effect, space and matter. In the beginning, time, God, force, created, cause and effect, the heavens, space, and the earth, matter. Genesis 1:1 The Bible tells me more in its opening breath than all my years of education. It really should have been a red flag when they told us that the sun is 93 million miles away and that the moon is only 240,000 miles away, and that it is only by some ridiculously impossible coincidence that they just happen to look the exact same size. But the real giveaway should have been when they told us that everything came from nothing a long time ago when nothing exploded. And that's how we all got here, because a long time ago, nothing exploded. You can see your reflection perfectly in a puddle of water, at the bottom of a well and in a calm lake. If the earth was in any kind of motion, then the puddle would have ripples in it. The earth is not in motion, it is at rest. How can internal gravity from Earth be pulling down on the waters, while external gravity, like the moon, be pulling up on that same water, all while the Earth is in motion without causing so much as a ripple? The flat earth deniers will tell you that it's the force of gravity that forces the waters to be still, and then they will turn around and tell you that it is gravity that causes the tides to rise. Do you see how liars always have to have everything both ways? And when they lie about one thing, then they have to lie about everything, because it's all connected. There are no governments, just actors performing for the sadistic 1% elitist. They make their tongues as sharp as a serpent's, the poison of vipers is in their lips. We see the stars as little sparkles of lights in the night sky, but science tells us that they are actually much bigger than our own sun. And to us they look as if we could almost reach out and touch them. And so, of course, they tell us that they are actually millions of light years away. We see the horizon as being flat, and so they tell us that the world is round. We see the remains of dragons, but science wants to call them dinosaurs. So why do all the different dinosaurs have the same footprints? Everywhere we look we see giants petrified tree stumps from trees that must have at one time stood miles high. But we are told that these plateaus, as they are called, are the result of volcanic activity. But the thing is, they are not based on silicon, as what would come from a volcano. They are based on carbon, the same as ourselves. And when we see your film further away than we should be able to, they call it a mirage. And how's it that it was the Dark Ages that gave us our greatest architecture? Every observation that we make, they instinctively disagree with. They want to make themselves appear wise by making us feel meager and lacking in intelligence. They want to promote godless science and create their own perverted universe by demolishing common sense and any thoughts of creation. And it will never be good enough for them to just simply fool us. No, they have deep desires to make fools out of us, over and over again. They know that if they make the world a really horrible place for us to live in, then the common people will start to think that God has forsaken them. Eventually, man will start to believe that God isn't even real, or through ignorance and bitterness completely turn against him altogether. But the truth will never go away, nor will it ever change. And matter was divinely designed to bring man back to God. Except ye see signs and wonders, ye will not believe. Thunder has an echo. Even out in the middle of the ocean, where there are no mountains for sound to bounce off of, thunder still has an echo. This must mean that the sound of thunder is bouncing off of the firmament. I know that sound can't be bouncing off of clouds. Clouds would only absorb sound. They faked the moon landings to discredit the firmament and convince the people that outer space is wide open and available to mankind, as if Star Trek was a real thing and many adventures are just waiting for us to explore them. They tell us that the firmament isn't real, but that there is a barrier called the Van Allen dot. I'm using this as the reason why man cannot leave Earth's low orbit or go back to the moon, even though we are supposed to have already gone there multiple times. That's what liars do, they just change the terminologies of things, as that calling the firmament, the Van Allen dot, makes it not the firmament. Sadly, a lot of taxpayers are falling for it. They have stars in their eyes, too much fantasy in their lives, and not a lot of serious reflecting. What luck for rulers that man doesn't like to think. Adolf Hitler. Bill Nye aka the science guy once said, "Now one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There is no place to go. This means that what our parents taught us is true, the sky really is the limit. Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten-looking glass." They tell us that for 20 years now that they've been remotely controlling the satellite around Jupiter some 360 million miles away. And they call flat earthers gullible. We live inside a really big structure, an enclosed environment. Space is fake. Space is water, it's called. The waters, the great deep, from, Mayan, celestial seas or primal ocean. It has so many different names because so many different cultures, except for ours, has always known that space is water. Water is the medium of life. And rain, according to the deathless saints, is how life returns to the physical worlds. Earth, by the way, is considered by my guru to be a middle-class world on the lowest level of existence, the material level. Jesus answered, "Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God." The material plane of which Earth is a small part of is a dark frozen tundra, and the Antarctica ice wall, which retains all oceans, is the coastline of our world. Our local life-supporting sun has melted and maintains a habitat for us with a 25,000-mile circumference, though not has given us our oceans, while exposing virgin continents. Our skies give us a clock, calendar, map and a compass. Beauty and wisdom are constants in our rent-free terrarium. We've been given running water, natural gas, electricity, free grub for life and a soft butt to sit on. The material man was meant to remain in the material worlds. The only way that we will ever go to a different world is to be born into it, the same way that we got here this time. It's all about the decisions that we make and the actions that we take. It's all about personal karma. Saints have declared that if a person, even once, really desires salvation, that desire is firmly planted in the superconsciousness's mind. No matter how long it is ignored, it will germinate when favorable opportunity arises. From the Bhagavad Gita. The heavens are the Lord's heavens, but the earth he has given to the children of man. The very idea of a universe being created is redundant. There is only creation, and matter, like water, seeks out and holds its own level. All the matter within creation has always been at our current level, the material level. Although the material plane is considered to be infinite, there are other planes of existence that are more infinite. Perhaps planes that are free of the confines of dimensions. There is no such thing as planets. Planets are stars. And stars and comets are not a product of matter. They are celestial, angelic or ethereal beings. All atoms are life drums, and they are all alive, conscious and at least semi-intelligent. The first time that I ever looked at the stars through a telescope, I just knew that they were alive. Meteors and meteorites are likely to be fragments from the firmament, like icebergs breaking off of the ice wall, and those deadly, dreadful asteroids that were supposed to have wiped out all of the fake dinosaurs are as fake as pandemics and nuclear weapons. You can create that mushroom effect just by striking a match. Science is being used as wizardry. It is the science of mind and behavioral control by means of scare tactics. It is mental warfare, and we don't even realize that we are under attack. A brainwashed mind never wonders. Because God is everywhere, it is as if he is nowhere. Also from the Bhagavad Gita. If you think that the daily news is fake, then you can only imagine how phony true history and science has become. They've taken our local night sky, our ceiling, and conjured from it an entire universe, just to hide something that's no bigger than a pea, our pituitary gland. They don't want us to become intrigued with our own inner space, that infinite domain behind closed eyes. They want us looking in the opposite direction for our answers, into the great emptiness of nothingness. They want us to be far removed from the truth of self-importance and soul-awareness. They want us searching out in the cold darkness of empty space. They want us to become further and further removed from the warmth of God's guiding light that illuminates us from within. When you close your eyes and concentrate, you can see a golden halo of light penetrating the darkness. This is the iris of your ethereal third eye coming into focus. Inner space is the only permanent, true space that there is. It is the place of cosmic consciousness and God reunion. It is where we go to at the end of each day and at the end of each life. It is irresistible. The pearly gate is at the tip of our spines. You, dear children, are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. 1 John 4:4. All personal issues can be resolved through the development of intuition, the divine medium of communication between God and man. Swami Sri Yukteswar, life is a dream and we are spiritually asleep. Matter is simply mind turned inside out. There are no scientific shortcuts to a better world. Man's final frontier won't be space. It will be in a state of blissfulness that comes from soul-searching and self-reflecting, which ultimately yields to self-realization, soul-perception, and at rest and yet fully awakened God consciousness in bodies that never sleep. All of which comes from within ourselves, in spite of all the interferences and distractions of the government's mainstream narratives and sciences. Ironically, matter is the one thing that doesn't matter. Only the intangible is real. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seems to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. A soul that is united with God is God. Our sciences and occult and our governments have been lying to us since the dawn of speech. Whether Satan is real or not, the evil rulers of this world is hell-bent on the annihilation of whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable. If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, they want it gone forever. Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. Next time you watch the sun go down, pay attention to the sunlight as it follows our small and local sun. The light will start to shrink, it will become smaller and smaller, and dimmer as if someone was walking away with the only light lantern, leaving us in the dark. Now compare this to any TV, movie or book imagery of the Earth spinning around in so-called outer space. You will notice that the line of termination, the line between day and night, extends from pole to pole. Degrees if things were really as we see them on TV. If the sun was really 93 million miles away, then when night fell we wouldn't see sunlight becoming smaller and smaller as it leave us. Daylight would be gone all at the same time. On a spinning globe, the transition from day to night would be instantaneous. May all your lights be green.